What is going on, YouTube? Good evening, good evening. Happy Saturday. You are on the lifeboat. This is your Captain Calhoun speaking. Welcome in. And what a great show we have planned for you today. I was going to do something fun, but then I got inspired. So we're going to have fun talking about a great message. Shannon Smith, the seventh son, Steve-O, inappropriate heifer, Mara, what's going on? Kristen Melinda, Alan Ballantyne, welcome back, welcome back. Shannon Smith, Izzy E, hello there, good evening. I hope this message finds you all very well. Ben Bacon Bits coming in, chuckling, as per usual. What's going on, Ben? Good to see you, brother. Hope your weekend's going well. Hope your weekend's treating you mighty fine. Jamie Palmer, good evening. It is hot out there today, ain't it? It's about 70 degrees in my house, but it's 103 outside, so I'm counting my blessings. Mr. Ray, always a pleasure, sir. What's going on? Brazy girl. Oh, it is cooking out there. I haven't been out there yet, but, well, that's not true. I went out there before it was 103, but it's 103 now. We could probably crack some eggs on the sidewalk if we really wanted to. Your computer broke and that's good, Shannon? What is going on? What is going on? Tamber June, hello, good evening. Roberta. Heck yeah, guys. We're going to talk about intent today. Tampa, B-Man, Just Pauline, Sandy Wandy. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Lori Driscoll. I don't know if I've ever said hello to you. Hello, Lori. Thanks for listening in. Shout out to Lori. Katie Fulton, hello, hello. Good to see you. Monk Searcher, missed you, dude. How you been? How have you been? Notice the different length in my... I always throw the deuce up with this hand instead of this one because I'm missing a piece of that finger, and I think it's hilarious. Gene Hansen, Layla Bradley. It's going to be a good day, y'all. You know, I was thinking we usually get a better turnout on the weekends, and I was inspired today, so I just ran with it. There's no games in funny business. There's intent, and I think it'll be fun anyways. So, without further ado, please hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. If you like what we do here, it makes a huge difference. I'm going to change the color of this light because I want to. Oh my gosh, it's the best one. That sucks. Whatever. Okay. And catch the Admiral this evening at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Not even missing a beat. Weekdays, we also have Carol at Needing a Meeting, 1:40 p.m. Pacific time, and show all of our ripples some love. They are numerous and growing. But yeah, I figured we'd talk about intent. I was sitting here having breakfast and watching cartoons and just kind of generally enjoying my morning. And I became inspired. I had to hit pause on my cartoon and just start writing this little presentation up and doing some research and whatnot. But I think that the intent behind behaviors is of paramount importance, especially when we're talking about changing behaviors, right? And for example, I use because I want to get high or I want to escape, and it's probably rooted in fear. If I break it all the way down, there's probably something or someone, some situation, some memory, whatever the case may be that I'm afraid of, right? On the other hand, I work because I want to make money, support myself, my family. These are the intent behind these actions, right? Follow me so far? Ben Bacon Bits, throwing up the $5. Thank you, good sir. I appreciate you. I wonder if Kristen Melinda could pull off just Kristen like Cher. Saturday morning cartoons are still my favorite, Monk. But these days I get to pick which cartoons are on Saturday because I can just put on whatever I want with the internet. It's a little bit different. Ellie J, good evening. Hello there. Body Illusion. Hello, hello. Danielle McCoy. I don't know if I said hello to you or not yet, but I did see your name, so I'm going to say it again. Hello. If only others understood my intentions and justifications. It's an interesting statement. I think that most disagreements are due to um, not understanding intent. I think that if we all understood each other's intent, the world would be a very different place. This is definitely a thing. I'm glad you brought it up. Shannon Smith concurs. Tampa, that would be a miracle for me. Well, let's maybe we can spread some knowledge and some know-how today. Maybe we can make some waves, some ripples, as it were, huh? We're talking about Alan Ballantyne. He could be on the boat if he so chose. I imagine. I imagine he's definitely been extended the hand previously. So identifying the intent behind what we do, I think, is essential to changing what we do. Why do we want to change what we do, right? Well, our best got us here. Our best decision making, our best efforts got us to where we are now, which is somewhere that we decided we want to change something, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be here having this conversation. And it may not be like the whole life. Maybe it's not such a huge thing that we need to change. Maybe it's just an aspect. Maybe it's just a small part, just making a change in a small way for the greater good of our life, right? Or our loved ones, what have you, right? Alan, that sounds like a good deal. I tell you what. That sounds like a good deal, Alan. That would be kind of cool. I think I'd like to interview you. I don't know. We should talk about it. I know you're a busy man and our time schedules are pretty much exact opposite, but if there is a way I could get you in the chair and ask you some questions, I think everyone would be better for it and we'd probably have some fun doing it. I really do talk fast sometimes, don't I? It's because I get excited, inspired, what have you. But yeah, so intent. Whether or regardless of the size of what we want to change, how big of an issue it is, there's something we want to change. And in order to do that, we break things down. How can I? So yesterday I talked about asking how instead of why. We're going to talk about this for just a brief detour here. Yesterday I spoke about asking how instead of why. Why is this happening to me as opposed to how can I move forward? And in early sobriety, I think it was the first time around, the very first time around, maybe the second, but I think it was the first. This was a concept that was brought to my attention. I was always asking, why is this happening to me? I felt like a victim. I felt like nothing was ever going right for me in my life. My parents were dope heads. I was basically the hot potato of the family, passed around, right? Nobody wanted me. When I was an adult, they left me at the homeless shelter, and the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's very easy in that situation to just feel put upon, like has nothing to do with me. These things just keep happening to me. So when the chips were down, I would, in my head, be cycling that over and over. Why? And that's not helpful in that manner at all. In fact, it's just destructive. It whips the brain tornado up faster and faster and faster. And it doesn't get you anywhere. You just get bitter, resentful, and all of these cancers of the soul, mainly the resentments, were just festering, which is something we talked about the other day, if you recall. Festering resentments are not what we want. Those are going to tear us apart. They're going to destroy us, right? Gene Hansen, welcome in. Davey, love to see you. I'm glad you're here, Davey. I saw someone else. Carol, hello. Mayonnaise Entertainment. What is going on? Welcome to the party. True that. Spanx keeps you in an emotional state, but we love to do that. It is a interesting phenomenon. For some reason, I feel like as humans, we love to hurt, and I don't know why that is, but it is true for me. And it's not like I actually, when I think about it, love to hurt, but for some reason, we are drawn to those emotions. At least I can only speak for myself, I guess, right? But I don't think it's just me. I think it's something that we end up discovering about ourselves and have to actively change, lest we become swamped and drown in it. Tommy Bird, what's going on, my guy? Exactly, Spanx. There's always cause and effect, and usually we can find the cause within our own actions. Exactly. And that brings me to my next point, my good sir. My good sir. I wish I had a monocle, guys. Oh my. That would be so stylish with like a little pocket chain or something. Oh my. I would have used it right then for dramatic effect. That brings me to my next point, right? So we have something we want to change. And we're asking how can I move forward instead of whipping the brain tornado up, right? Instead of saying why, we say how can I move forward and this not happen again? How can I move forward in a productive, constructive way, right? This can be applied to great effect, especially when we're talking about. Well, let me switch gears. The toolkit when we're what Tommy Bird said, when we're peeling the onion, when we're finding the cause to the effect, when we're finding the root of what we're talking about for journaling, service, talking to each other, um, all of this shadow work, as it were, the spirit work. While we're doing that, the why can be applied to great effect. And I think it's important we make that distinction first, though, because the why can be destructive, but also it's not a tool to just be swept away. If we apply it properly, we can reap great benefits. And I'm losing my train of thought. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so why do I do this? Why do I exhibit this behavior? What is my intent behind my action, right? Why does so-and-so do this? What is their intent? We should probably break down some examples. And this was difficult for me when I was writing, so I skipped over it. So we're going to, on the fly, try and come up with some examples. But I guess earlier in the presentation, I had in examples of intent. I use because I want to get high. I want to escape. I work because I want to make money, support my family, right? Yada, yada, yada. Understanding someone's intent or understanding your own intent is going to allow you to shift these things around, allow you to look at what's going on in your life with stark contrast. Like, look at what's going on in your life with great clarity. Clarity came up in book study or in the meeting the other day, and I thought that was a really cool topic. Shout out to Tara Smiling. Hope she's doing all right today. But yeah, understanding intent is going to empower us. Knowledge is power, right? If we want to affect our lives for the better, we better inform ourselves. And this is also why I preach praying for your enemy. And it doesn't have to be a religious thing. But if someone has wronged you, your initial reaction, my initial reaction is like, F you, you jerk, I hope bad things befall you and yours. Well, I don't necessarily think that that is a proper response. It is an emotional response. But if everything was right in their world, I don't think that they would be acting like that. I'm a firm believer that everybody does their best. And sometimes your best ain't that great. That's just how it is. Today's best is uniquely different from yesterday's best. And both of those are uniquely different from tomorrow's best. And every day's best will be unique to itself. But I'm a firm believer that we all do our best, regardless. I mean, I don't think that humans are inherently bad or evil. I think that evil is something that is learned or accepted in oneself, rather. So if everything was right in someone's world, I don't think they'd be acting like that. And that was just a little side thing there. What is their intent, right? It really changes the way things look when you understand why things are being done. Discovering the why of things can be beneficial in the process of changing your behaviors. It's how we get to the root. And again, that is the goal, is it not? To get to the root. Why is my life in shambles? Or why, why am I unhappy? Why am I still in this relationship that I suffer in, right? Why am I still working at this job that I hate? We could go on and on and on with the list. In fact, I probably don't need to, because everyone has their own unique stuff going on. And if you're hearing this message and it's for you, you already know what's going on and what we're going to do about it. So if that's you, thank you for being here. This is exciting. That rap is way too loud. I always get fired up to Nipsey Hussle before my streams because he really gets me pumped and motivated. But That kick snare can really demonetize me, I tell you what. Tampa B Man says, I'm comfortable in wallowing self-pity. It's easier. Is it really easier though, Tampa? In the short run, maybe. But I mean, long term, you're just going to be stuck in the same boat that you're in right now that you're dissatisfied with. Am I right? Am I right? I'm starting to gain a little bit more confidence challenging the crew. So watch out. I am here to challenge you. Only in the best ways, I promise. Brazy Girl says, I have a friend. She dumped her stuff on me for years. Finally, had the guts to ask, why don't you ever ask how I'm doing? Took years, but I was heard. We're best friends now. Wow, what a sweet story. Yeah, communication's king. I tell you what, I don't think that, again, anyone intends to do bad things or to be bad or to, put other people down. I think that it's a byproduct of much more complicated and deep-seated problems. Communication can help us leap over those bounds. Casey, what's going on? Good to see you. In my opinion, things don't happen to us, they happen for us to learn a lesson. This is a mental existence. Wow, Casey, that is so profound. I think I'd have to agree. I'd have to agree with that. Thanks for sharing. Debbie P, what's going on? I am doing some scrolling. Just bear with me here. It all looks the same when you're scrolling very fast. I tell you what. I don't know if I said hello to you yet, LEJ, but hey there. I'm glad you made it. People are never right in trying to figure out why people do what they do. It's always the thing you could never have imagined seriously. And I'm glad you bring this up. I thought about this when I was writing all this up. I don't think it's nearly as important to understand the intent of other people because we have no control over other people, right? All we have control over is ourselves. And really, it's not even every aspect of ourselves. Like how I feel is for me to accept, but what I do, to some degree, what I think. Those are things I have control over. So it's much more, I think, important to understand your own intent, especially when analyzing, peeling the onion, reflecting. I'm glad you bring that up because we don't have control over other people. So that's less beneficial to understand others' intent. And it is, like you say, a maze you can get lost in because we're not psychic, whether we'd like to think so or not. Mayonnaise Entertainment says, my intent always depends on the situation and who I'm dealing with. I have to concur, which is another great reason, if it's on a situation by situation basis, all the more reason that we need to be very, very familiar with our intent. I have to say, when I first decided to get sober, I had no idea why I did the things that I did. I was just a habitual creature at that point. I was reacting. I was just living my life emotionally and defensively. And I had to slow myself down and start analyzing and asking myself these questions in order to affect that change in myself. Brr, mouthful. I don't have intent, but I should work on it. I don't know if that's entirely true, Davey. I bet you have intent, but you're just not clear on it. And I also would be willing to wager you make short work of that search for intent. Be willing to bet you give it the what for. The what for? Lol, Ben Bacon Bits, you're so funny. Saguaro Christmas, glad you made it. You can have fun. There's no fun card revoking. I was just poking you a little bit. Please have all the fun. Please, please, please. As you guys get to know me better too, I think it'll be easier for us to jest. I have my AC cranked and it just feels the same temperature in here. I don't think my AC is very effective. I'm like loath to turn it up higher or lower, I guess, technically, right? But I just, I don't want the power bill to be ridiculous. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's just running all the time regardless. I wonder, does it take more power to make it colder, or is it just strictly like a water faucet leaving it on for a certain amount of time? I don't know. Has anyone read these Celestine prophecy books? I don't know what those are. I like the philosophy that when we connect with someone, it's for a reason. I also like that philosophy, I have to say. I think we all have something to learn or share with one another. I would totally agree with that, Ellie J. I think that's very wise. Miso Smokes, hey there. Thanks for the ribbons and the dolphin. So cute. Gene Hansen says, uh-oh, figured the time would come. That's funny. That is funny. Are you a troublemaker, Tampa B? I'm so far up in the chat. I'm totally just playing around. Please don't take me too serious on that note. Just in jest. You guys are funny. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I have more. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat, I promise. Evil is just a lack of faith, says Casey. Cheryl Niles, hello, hello, hello. Once we learn how to empower ourselves, Cheryl, that's when we can empower each other. If not if not in any other way, just by being a good example. You know what I mean? Empowering ourselves has wide-reaching ramifications, ripples, as it were. You guys totally get it. Krista Melinda's form of a sponge over here. Let's go. Wonder Twin powers, activate. You know, when I used to make believe and imagine as a kid, I was totally fine being the dude Wonder Twin. I was like, I'll be a bucket of water. That's fine. That's hilarious. Dump me on the enemy, you know? Form of an ice slick. I was pretty into it. It was just corny enough for my sense of humor. This is probably an unpopular opinion, Mayonnaise, but I think that those people, well, first, Mayonnaise Entertainment says, but there are people who just have bad intentions and always will. Some don't care for real. I feel like those people, at the very, very core of them, want to be good. They just don't know how, in my opinion. But again, I don't know, right? It's really hard to see the world through other people's eyes. Maybe evil is real, right? Maybe it is, there is a source of it. Who knows? That's definitely not a discussion I'm super equipped to have, I don't think. Ben Bacon Bit says, part of the change is throwing away what works as far as behaviors go. Throwing away what doesn't work, I imagine you're trying to say. Those behaviors that helped us with our addictions, dysfunctions, helped us. It is so hard to let them go. Oh, I see what you're saying. Totally. And that's like identifying the intent behind what we're doing, right? Like, am I asking people for money and borrowing? Like, am I not able to pay my rent because my job isn't paying enough, or because I'm spending it all to get high? Understanding the intent behind your behaviors is going to empower you to change your behaviors and let go of the behaviors you don't want. Super good stuff here. Super good stuff here. You know, something I like to say, Tampa, is I forgive, but I do not forget. I think it would be foolhardy for me to forget. But forgiveness is a gift that I deserve, you know, that I deserve to give myself and others. Forgiveness is powerful, not only for the ones forgiven, but the ones forgiving. The knee-jerk reaction is retaliation. Sometimes taking a breather is the best before reacting. I would concur 100%. You know, it's so easy for us to wallow. Lori Driscoll says, I've been wallowing too. It's good to be reminded of these principles. It's so easy to wallow. I feel like part of me is totally okay to just wallow. It's simpler that way, right? There's the pain, there's the pain, and there's the pain. You know, it doesn't have to be a whole lot more complicated than that for a time, but getting stuck there is no good. I'm glad you're here, Lori, and I'm glad we're having a chat. Emoji. Good evening. I'm in a crap situation, but I'm working on getting out of it. Well, let us know if we can help in any way, man. I know sometimes that's just a gesture of goodwill, but for real, thanks for speaking up. I'm glad you're here. I am absolutely too smart for my own good, Tampa, and I don't say that boastfully at all. I get myself into trouble, and I always have. My lack of trouble lately is not troubling, but it is new. It is a new thing, a new phenomenon, as it were. Always 100% easier to blame. I agree. I agree. And you know, Tampa, you're speaking to my heart soul right here. I can be extremely lazy. And I don't know if lazy is the right word, but I am so content literally just staring at the wall. I don't even need the TV to be on. I don't even really need the music to be playing, but I probably will turn it on because it's very easy. But I will just stare and just do nothing and just think about stuff. And maybe I'll sing some songs, but being motionless is one of my favorite things. I just like to just lump it. My lack of trying is excellent, you know? It's not excellent, but I do enjoy it sometimes. I can be known to enjoy it frivolously. Yeah, let's get some ones up for emoji. I'm also very far up in the chat. When things get good, they get really good. Oop, now I'm at the bottom. Okay, Miss Sunrise Dawn, welcome in. Thank you for putting that up, Alan. Yeah, please email me. I will respond promptly. I'll be in there as soon as we turn this off. The Inappropriate Heifer Sanitarium, welcome in. Welcome in. Am I Tampa? Aw. Thanks, Brazy. Brazy's got my back. Better days, better times. Keep my spirit alive. Crazy life of mine. Spanx, the colder you make it, the more power you use. Yes, it's the same principle with the heat in the winter, but that's how it works here. It would be worth looking into for your area. I'm so curious. I feel like I know the truth in my heart. I know it's not just a length of time being on. There's got to be like what's that called? An intensity meter. Like how cold am I making it, right? It probably costs more to make it more cold, I would imagine. It's just a truth that I don't want to believe, Jamie. It's a sucky truth. It costs money. Imagine that. It costs money. It's real nice in here, though. It's way better than being sweaty. Let's also put some ones up for LEJ. Y'all are probably already on top of it. I'm just catching up again. I'm now scrolling up because I want to see what all you beautiful people have to say. Most of my family are addicts too, even the ones that I've never spoken about and my dad's never spoken about. Like my family is full of them, alcoholics, addicts, grandpa on my mom's side. I don't think that he drinks a whole lot anymore, but I mean, as far back as I can remember, he was always drinking apple juice, but it wasn't apple juice. Glass of scotch and I keep the doctor away. There's such an interesting bit of imagery there. This person's name, and then they've got like tacos in the thumbnail. And then they're being super nice to me. I just don't, this whole picture, I don't understand. I'm so confused. What do you guys think? You guys think it's already a done deal? I've already done what I've done. But just for future reference, you guys think it's worth banning someone because they have like a perverted name? I guess that's totally a great reason. If they have a stupid name, how can they be serious, right? I don't know. Not looking back. No regrets, baby. I feel like slop dongs don't get to get sober. Sorry. Andrew McCarroll, what's going on? Welcome in. We're talking about dancing. Miss Sunrise Dawn, I was looking at it too, like, why are you being nice to me? Make me feel a little bad. Feel free to smash anybody. I back you up. I support you. I'm not going to ban you. I promise. I'm just not going to say your name because I can't trust myself to do so. But I feel like I figured you out already. I've got your back. Doge. We're just going to call you the Doge. You please don't change your name too. If that's like actually your name and you like it, like, yeah, don't. We can respect it. We can get behind it. I don't think that your name's stupid at all. Please don't get self-conscious. I can tell the difference between people that intend to be here and people that don't want to be here. I promise. I know. I can see into your soul. I know who you are. And I appreciate every single one of you for being here. Late, but never early. She arrives precisely when she means to. Welcome in, Connie. I'm glad you made it. You know, Doge, one of my greatest desires of all time was to feel just a part of something. And when I finally did, it changed my life. I'm glad you're here. Andrew McCarroll, I'm doing really good, man. I'm doing really, really good. How are you? I'm doing friggin' fantastic. I would even say, I would venture to say, I am actually a huge fan of your name, Hef. In fact, the first time I saw it, I smiled, and I still frequently smile when I see it. So there's that. Plus, how could you ban that face? Look at that face. Hell yeah. Miss Sunrise Dawn got your number dialed there, Hef. But it's way cool to be a phoenix. Balances out, right? What kind of dance are we talking here, Alan? I'll only ask once, I promise. I'm just so curious. I had to ask. Scooby Lee, what's going on here? Let's get back to this material maybe. Now I'm all caught up. Andrew McCarroll says, doing pretty well. Fantastic. I can't wait, Connie. I look forward to it. Yeah, I'm jealous of you cruise goers too. I don't have a ton left, but we will get through it. Knowledge is power. Once we understand, it's harder to continue on doing the things that we were doing, right? The behaviors that got us here. Once we know why we're doing them and that it's leading us nowhere, it's just leading us in a perpetual cycle of pain and suffering that will end in our death, basically. Once we know these things and the intent behind the behaviors, it's so difficult to keep doing it. With a belly full of recovery and a head full of knowledge, it's really, really hard to continue on doing these things. And, this may manifest itself as such. It may be, ow, that hurt. It may be that you find yourself out, not on the wagon, as it were. But now you've learned all of these things, right? So you can't stop thinking about the actions that you're taking, the behaviors that you're exhibiting, and how they're meaningless. And they're not going to lead you anywhere but into more pain and suffering. It's very difficult for alcohol, as an example, to keep drinking with that in your head. It's very difficult to just ignore those thoughts once you have them. So Have I ever been pegged properly? I am so confused now, yo. I'm just going to ignore that. Once we understand all of these things, it's very easy to make the change. I shouldn't say very easy. It's a whole lot easier. What once seemed insurmountable becomes a hike you can go on, right? And I'm going to leave you with some quotes here. You can't win them all. Pardon me. I can't win them all, but I can't keep losing. And I'll say that one more time. I can't win them all, but I can't keep losing. And then another one that I thought was pretty neat. When the times are tough, that we want to keep like that Rolex second hand behind the crystal glass and keep moving. Just keep moving. So yeah, that is what I had for you today. I think tomorrow we'll do a strictly fun show. I don't know if we'll like play games, if I'll do like a fun deep dive, we'll have like some rowdy question answer. I don't know. Something to that effect. Maybe all of the above. You know? Connie, you might be confused. This is not the love boat. This is the lifeboat. Yeah, losses do suck. But taking them with a smile is much better than the alternative, I think. I'm curious, are we waiting for me to make a decision on this one? Maybe we need to have a conversation. Curious. You have mugs, Hef? I need one, obviously. Does it have your face on it? In the future, I don't think that we should allow something like that to go on. It'll probably drive away people that want to and need to be here. We don't have to smile. Can't be. In fact, if you need a good cry, you need a good cry. And you'll probably smile much bigger after you do. Don't no sweat, guys. Don't sweat it. Things happen. And again, like I just finished saying, I think we're all doing our best here. So don't even sweat it. No big deal. It's interesting though. It's interesting. Don't get lost trying to figure out that person's intent. I don't like Restream for one reason. I do like Restream for many reasons, but one reason I don't like Restream is when I click on a comment, I have very limited options and it has limited integration with YouTube. So I always have the pop-up chat pulled out. So in certain situations, I can pull it up and I have the full list. A full list of things that I can do. That person spent like 3 days like cultivating like a relationship with us just to do that. It's so weird. Do you guys remember her? Them? I don't know who they are. Whatever. Connie. They've been here the past like 2 or 3 days, I feel like. That is so strange. Streamlabs won't allow me to change the white light of blindness to a different color. So I gave it up. That is hilarious, Hef. I'm going to have to go buy one, obviously. I'll show it off to everyone when I do. Davey, so you noticed that too, right? What's going on, Lost Mittens? Sorry I'm so quiet right now. We are all thinking together. We're having a good think. They added dark mode to Streamlabs, Doge? Because they friggin' need it. It's so bad. Send me a pic of yourself and I'll take you on the cruise with me. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Well, do you guys think I'm good enough to do Tincture? Brazy, what do you think? Davey, what do you think? Izzy, my pepperheads, what do y'all think? Should we? Kristen, Ben, Ray? Where my dogs at? I really want to. It's a little hot in here already. Yeah, what does Kristen Melinda say? Tampa says, do it. I have eaten, Davey. I just finished some tacos, the last of my leftovers. I think I'm going to make spaghetti meatball tonight, y'all. Oh, it's been so long. I can't wait. Finally got around to getting some meatballs. It seems like we're doing Tink time. Kristen Melinda reporting in. Heck yes. Okay. Sanitarium dares me. Izzy E says, I missed the last few days. I say it's pepper time. Okay. I'm going to roll up the sleeves, guys. I wish we could listen to music together because it's so epic right now. When we do Tink, it's epic, you know, and music makes things epic. I need like a dun 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 dun, something that's not copyrighted. Maybe I'll write like a little jig and record it and play it so that way they can't get me for copyright because it's mine. That's a novel idea, right? So since I'm probably way out of practice, probably going to kick my butt, we're just going to do my favorite one, okay? Also, that being said, it's been at least 2 weeks, right? If this doesn't kick my butt, we will have learned something about myself and or capsation, and that is that tolerance doesn't drop off a cliff. I don't know. Maybe it's too soon to say we will have learned something, but I assume that my tolerance has dropped off a cliff and that this will beat me up just a little bit of beating. But maybe, like my uncle, for example, Mr. Johnny, if he takes a few weeks off, is his tolerance in the dirt? I don't think so. I think that he just has a certain amount of hair on his chest now, and it's never going away, right? All right, I won't keep you waiting any longer, but just thoughts, things that I think about when I do silly stuff. Okay, this is Armageddon by Impressed Capsation Company. Shout out to Impressed. That was a double on the side. Well, I have to say right out the gate, the flavor on it, I can taste it. I can taste the flavor. So my tolerance is higher than before I had ever done anything like this. But that sucker's hot. I wish I hadn't done it on that side of my mouth. That was not intelligent. Spanx, what are my intentions? My intentions are to use my powers for good. My intentions are to affect the world positively. My intentions are to spread love and light. I know that sounds really cliche and right, my hair is on fire. I know that sounds really cliche and very hippie, and you know, I don't want to be attached to any title or to like any group or anything like that. I'm just me. I'm Spanx Calhoun, but my intent very much is to leave the world a better place and also have a grip of fun doing it. I mean, I would like to affect the world with good. but I would settle for just having a good time and being a good person. You know, I'm not super attached to like these big lofty goals, but whatever I'm doing, I'm going to try and have fun doing it. And I'm going to try to have the trajectory just cocked back enough to land somewhere great. And my direction is still kind of, I'm not entirely sure, but I do love what I'm doing, and that's enough for me. I love what I'm doing, and I really appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. That was not very hot at all. I expected that to be hotter. Tell you what, I think that got to like a 2. Should we do another? What do you think? Miss Sunrise Dawn says, don't forget to float on over and drop the anchor on that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you hit the bell, it won't unsubscribe you randomly, which is pretty cool. Did you say a week off the peanuts has an effect? Pretty hot. Uh-oh. Were you taking a break because I was taking a break? That makes me feel special. You asked my uncle about me taking Tink when not eating. What did he say, Davey? Your secret's safe with me. Yeah, hook it up, Davey. I will take that. I would love that very much. Was it a triple drop Doge? It may have been. It was definitely 2. I love my hair. My hair color is friggin' great, right? Everyone says, yeah, do it. Okay. I was scrolling up, guys. My bad. Here I am. Okay, we'll do another one. We're gonna do the jacked up stuff. You know how I do. You know how it goes. We need to feel alive. We need a reminder that we're breathing oxygen here. Look at how this one is a different weight or something. It's like a different density. It comes out without me touching it. The other one didn't do that. My mom's a scientist, so I am vicariously through her a scientist. The viscosity on that one is very different too. It's thicker. Oh, that one hurts. That one hurts a lot. Oh, ow. Oh. Wow, when you swallow that one, it just goes like and just assaults all of your senses. Wow. That one's like immediately a 5. Like immediately a 5. And it like spread from tip to sides to back, all over the roof of my mouth, my throat, everything on that one viscous drop. For supper, we're gonna do spaghetti meatballs. I got some spicy Sicilian meatballs because I haven't tried my hand at making my own meatballs. One day I will. I will not rest until I can make my own meatballs. But today we're gonna do the lazy store-bought meatballs with some pasta. I have some like garlic, something pasta sauce that we're going to use. When I say we, it's just the proverbial we. It's just me in here. I'm just being silly. Disney Dad. That was not THC. No. This is capsaicin. Pure spice. Pure hot. Let's get one that's not in cursive so we can read it together. Is it mirrored? Oh, you can read it on this one. Cool. This has peach. Why can't we see it? Peach, Butte Jalakia, Carolina Reaper peppers, and organic MCT oil. I believe MCT oil is just the medium for which they want to catch because it just tastes like corn syrup. It just tastes like vegetable oil. It just tastes like olive oil or something like that. But also, that's like an underlying taste under all the hot pepper. You have to have quite the spicy tolerance to get any flavor out of it at all. But that's what I initially, when I did the Armageddon one and I said it wasn't that hot, that very, very first flavor I got was the MCT oil. I can taste it. And I'm glad you said that, Ben. It certainly tastes like coconut oil, minus the coconut. Like if coconut oil didn't smell fantastic, that's totally because coconut oil doesn't taste good if you just eat it. You have to cook stuff in it to make it worthy, right? But that makes a lot of sense. And that's something that I think about often. Like, is it a good thing that we do tincture? I think it's exciting, it's fun, but it's easily misunderstood, right? It does look like before I knew about capsaicin tincture, the only tincture I knew about was THC and CBD, right? So it's a thought that I have a lot. Disney Dad says, believe it or not, I use capsaicin oil to alleviate my swollen hemorrhoids. Dude, I'm telling you what, isn't it great for inflammation? It's almost magic. It burns bad at first, but will knock them out before the rest of the month. Pro tip, bro. I'm going to leave this. Thank you for saying this. I'm going to leave this posted up. I wish I could pin it. I probably can pin it. What a testimonial, Disney Dad. 617. I'm instantly a big fan of Disney Dad. Brianna Miller says, I put coconut oil in my hair and on my face. I've heard it's good for those things. I was supposed to leave it up. I am the man that can taste it. And honestly, the jacked up stuff still hurts a lot, but I'm starting to be able to taste it. When I can taste the crap out of this one, it's probably time to revisit the dreaded polar bear. You guys remember this one, right? That one had me crying. That one had me and Valerie both freaking out. She didn't even do it. She just watched me do it. Shout out to Valerie 102. I hope she's doing great. 103, 102. I might get the digits wrong, but been thinking about her. Hope she's all right. I mean, if you do the chili thing, odds are you're burning your bunghole one way or another, right? So what's one more try? 12 and a half days, no cigs. Oh my. Miss Sunrise Dawn, you're doing it. You're killing it. I'm so proud of you. I want to stop doing the nicotine, but then like this other part of me is like, I want all the nicotine. And I'm trying to talk that guy into a corner, but really I should just ignore him and quit. That's what it comes down to. That's what you're doing. You just made the decision. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm done with this. And I think that's the only way to actually quit nicotine is to make that like just stomp your foot in the sand, right? No more. I think that's the only way. Got to man up and just torch the sphincter. Oh my. This must be after hours right now. It has hit 6 p.m., baby. Carol Ann, hello. Am late, Nicola E. Been asleep. It's 2 a.m. Just stirred and caught some boat. Well, I'm glad you did. I tell you what, I took a nap today. It's been a very tired day for me too. I have not been taking a ton of naps lately. I've just been kind of energizing and working and going through the day all the way through. But today I took a nap. I was like, it's Saturday. I deserve this. And it was very nice, but still quite tired. It's totally okay to have one bad habit, but I think I have a few. I definitely have a bunch of bad habits and we're not perfect, right? I'm not going to be perfect. So, and I don't beat myself up for sure. When I enjoy nicotine, I enjoy it thoroughly. I only question it later on. Disney Dad, that makes me feel warm. That fills me up, dude. I'm so stoked on that. I'm so stoked. That's the purpose. That's what we are here for. That's why we do the thing, man. I tell you what, that's amazing. Love you too, dude. You're adding years to your life, Sunrise. That is right. I vape. I vape the nicotines, Davey, but it's something I'm looking at removing. I was thinking about nicotine and caffeine are probably contributing to a lack of energy midday. And I was trying to think, this is important enough. I should be able to make whatever sacrifices necessary to have the necessary energy to get through my day and do what I need to do, right? So that thinking led me to I still vape nicotine and I still drink a lot of caffeine. So those two things are probably contributing to a non-consistent flow of energy. So that's just where this thinking came from. I'm not quitting today, but it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. And I think I should choose one and cut it out. Brown and Miller, did you know that my apartment came with a bidet attached? And I'm kind of mad about it. It's like one of those that attaches underneath the toilet seat. That like it goes on the toilet, and the toilet seat goes on top of it. And then there's like these little like locks that kind of go down on the bolts in the back. And when I lift one leg, I'm going to try and not be too imagerous here, but I'll lift one leg for regular reasons, and one of those locks will pop. And it's always the leg that I need to lift anyways. But so because my toilet has a bidet on it, I can't, like, the seat will try and knock me off. Like one of the bolts will come loose and the whole seat will like go. And it is the most frustrating thing. This happens to me like every other day. Every other day, I'll lift the leg and the seat will come off on one side. And I'm like, argh! It sucks. I hate it. I think I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to make fun of my uncle. My Uncle Johnny was helping me move in, and he had to go use the bathroom. I was like, oh, yeah, it's back there. Go check it out, He comes back, and he's like, dude, your toilet has an emergency brake on it. I was like, what? He was like, dude, you didn't see that e-brake over there? I was like, dude, that's a bidet. And he was like, whatever. Lord Kiss Freak, what's going on? Been a while, dude. How you been? How you been? Me too, Kristen. One at a time, baby steps. Very important. Very, very important. Yeah, I think you're in a good spot too, Brazy. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I think it's going very well. No need to rush stuff. I know we get excited, things go well, and we want to do more. It's only natural. That's what they all say, Disney Dad. That's what they all say. Oh yeah, you got that new job, LKF. Let's go. That's so cool. That is so cool. I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm so glad. That's so sick. That's so great. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna leave you now. We're having so much fun, but I'm gonna go make some pasta. Yeah, being around other vapors is the hardest. I've gotten to a point where I enjoy the smell of other people's cigarettes, but I don't necessarily want to have one. But if I see a vape, I'm like, where's mine? Anik Alexander, what's going on? Sorry, I guess I'm glad you made it for the end, though, right? Disney Dad, you're out of control, dude. What kind of pasta? Probably just the cheap kind. I got like the generic spaghetti pasta. I do like to get fancy and chef it up, but today we're on the budget. We're on budget spaghetti meatball. I did get spicy Sicilian meatballs store bought because I haven't put the time into learning how to make meatballs yet. But one day I'm going to be a spaghetti meatball master chef. Big fan of the spaghetti meatball. Lust after my pasta. What is going on today? There is something in the air. You guys we must be having a lot of fun. That must be what's going on. I promise I'll enjoy it for you, Ben Bacon Bits. You can totally have some one of these days. I'll make you some spaghetti. It'll be great. Homemade beef jerky's done. If I had teeth to chew it with, I'd be super into it. I used to love beef jerky. What size is my pasta? About average. They don't believe me when I tell them, but it's about average. Sometimes I swear my neighbors are smoking cigarettes, but I thought about it. I applied my intellect for once, and I bet you whoever it is, and they're smoking in their backyard because that's where people smoke. So it's hard for me to be mad. Like if I'm going to be mad at someone, I need to be mad at the apartment complex for building non-smell proof, like a non-insulated back wall, or be mad at myself for settling for a non-insulated back wall bedroom. But I can definitely tell when someone's outside smoking because my bedroom starts to smell like I've been smoking in it. It's ridiculous. But it also doesn't pay to just be mad about stuff, you know? I'm going to stomp around and huff and puff, or I could just make some spaghetti and forget about it. You know, Seventh, I have it in my head that it's hard to make. I think there's just like someone in my family that can't make them for the life of them. I can't remember who it is, but I feel like I learned at a young age that meatballs were not easy. I must be wrong. The spice you feel twice. I like that. I also love the smell of cigarettes. It's kind of weird. I'm with you on that, Brianna. All right, guys, hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. Give my father, the Admiral, a shout this evening, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And, I'm really happy about what's going on here these days. Really stoked on the boat, really stoked on the crew, really stoked on me and you, Cosmic. It is probably a welcome change, though. I have to say, in the past, I have tried to use nicotine and THC, one to replace the other in both situations, like weed to replace nicotine and nicotine to replace weed, because I've tried to quit both many times in my life. And they never scratched the same itch. They never did. Nicotine scratched this very unique itch that I didn't even know I needed scratched until I had a few cigs, Super connector, kind of like a superconductor, but we're a super connector. Stoked on the boat too. You guys are the best, you know that? All right, y'all. Make it a good evening. I think we're gonna end up doing a super duper long one coming up. I don't know if we'll just do like a double feature. I've been playing around with the idea of like a 24-hour live stream. I think that would be crazy and weird and different because y'all would inevitably have to do a bunch of stuff with me that you never do with me, like eat. We would go places. We would go to the store together. It would be a different thing, a 24-hour live stream. Now that I've said it, I probably have to do it eventually, and I will, but it's something I've been thinking about. I don't know when, but wouldn't that be fun? Anyways.